experience of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web. Precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At sportsforecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. Sportsforecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. The USA Today has released their official 2025 NFL record projections. In the AFC South, they have the Texans running away with it with a 10-7 record. The Jaguars will miss the playoffs, according to USA Today, finishing with an 8-9 record. Right now, 91 degrees at 2 o'clock, time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
Cook puts it down. Little's kick is up. The 70-yard field goal is good!
Yeah!
He just made a 70-yarder! He ended the half on a 70-yard field goal! How good is that?
That's good, Frank. That is good. You are right. That's incredibly good.
We had to start the show on this Monday morning with something positive, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of crap on Saturday night, but that Cam Little kick was
I
not one of them.
rewatched the first half today, and my wife was at the table doing work, and right before the kick, I paused. I said, "Babe, look how far that is. Like, you're on your own 40. Like, this is unbelievable." And then he nailed it, like, no problem. It's like, wow, that's a big old leg. That was, hey, it's star of the night, and the punter got hit of the night. So at least we got two, good special teamers. You know what I'm saying?
We've got lots of good special teamers, so that part is positive.
No
yes.
doubt.
Look, I think we knew that Cam Little was one of the best kickers in the NFL just based off of what we have seen him do at practice. It just last year, obviously, there weren't a whole lot of game-winning field goals that he had to line up for. His calm demeanor is something to behold. And again, that field goal would have been good from more than 70 yards.
Yeah.
And yes, it's outside. It's outdoors.
Yeah.
So imagine in an indoor stadium, or imagine in Denver when the Jaguars play, the Broncos in December, just what he could do.
You could just get to your own 30 and be like,
We've changed the game of football entirely thanks to Cam Little.
But it's crazy. And to your point, it looks easy. He walks up. It doesn't look like it just goes. The amount of text messages that I got right in that moment, because I've talked a lot about Cam, even though last year, remember I kept calling him Walker Little last year. But
slightly different physique than Walker Little.
A little bit different. But I was telling so many people last year, like, I want everybody to get the chance to see some of the things that we got to see in camp and things like that, because he was making some of these kicks where I'm like, man, you do that in a game and you're going to be talked about all over the NFL, like all around the NFL. And so multiple people text me right away and they were like, holy crap. And I was like, I know. I mean, it's insane.
So aside from right before the half, right, time runs out.
Yeah.
Which
aside
was
from
great
the
for
end of the
Liam
game,
with 1 second on the clock. I said in the press box, I was like, what is he doing? Come on, just get to halftime.
So you know that if you miss, it's okay because you go to halftime. Like, they don't get the ball on the 40 or whatever.
But had the Steelers,
they're at field goal range right away. So I wonder how risky you would be in a game.
Had the Steelers had somebody back there and it was short, then we could have had the whole Alabama-Auburn once the Iron Bowl, the kick six type of thing.
Blocked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a big risk, but man, it was fantastic. Preseason, regular season, whatever. That was a fantastic kick. And I wanted to see if was the rush legit or they just kind of, hey, I want to see it too.
They're all watching.
But no, they try to get him. They try to get him on the edge. That was really interesting. But
because those are the guys that are trying to make the team, right?
Yeah.
Those are the guys that are trying to make it on that Steelers 53-man roster.
I loved Travis Hunter's reaction. He was the
he
first
almost knocked Cam over when he went to get him. I was like,
He was so
you need to
pumped.
protect that guy. high. We need him.
Yeah, he can jump high, man.
Yeah.
And Cam Little can, too. He got up there, too, so good for them both. Yeah, that was the highlight of the night,
and
but
then,
whatever.
Unfortunately,
Wasn't too bad.
I would say when the Jaguars' starting offense was out there, the thing that got me excited was I liked Liam's play calls. And obviously this was a very vanilla conservative approach. They're not going to show anything. But I still liked the ideas that Liam Cohen was showing us, even though he did say today that it was a bad play call, the one that he had Brian Thomas Jr. there across the middle.
Yeah.
And Trevor obviously almost got BTJ killed. But Liam said about himself, he's like, that was on me, that was on the play caller, which was such a breath of fresh air around here.
Like, we know, play caller.
Right. A, we know who's calling the plays. And B, he's not afraid to be self-deprecating and say that he did a bad job. Like, heck yeah, I love that candid honesty.
I think the safety made a great play. I think he would have got a hit regardless wherever you put that ball. You know, you could have put it right on him and stopped him in his route, but you're trying to also anticipate. So he's got to see the safety, whether it was a bad call or not. It was still a fine throw. I just think the safety made a great play, and those things are gonna happen. Look, if the coach wants to take off the accountability, be like, throw it on me. Hey, that's what leaders do. You know, it's not the QB, it's me. No problem with that. I thought overall the offense was good, but only 2 runs, minus the jet sweep, which would make 3. So. And they've been doing that all camp.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised they tried it. So 2 runs and 9 passes plus a jet sweep. That's not what we thought it was going to be, right? I mean, we're talking about running the ball, commitment to running the ball. I will say this, and I watched the tape again today. The second run, Etienne misses a cutback. That would have been just magnificent if he just would open his eyes and see right off Anton's block. Anton's guy's going down. If he just cuts right off his backside, he's got a big gain there. Tank missed one to the front side. Those guys got to get better at seeing those holes, man. You can't just, run up in there and hope you're going to run people over. So, but I thought there'd be more run game, to be honest with you. And I thought, look, it was great. I mean, Trevor, his best throw was to Strange. He went from 1 to 2. It was fluid, and he zipped it in there. And it was a perfect throw. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, Trev, that's what we're talking about, right? We haven't seen that.
And he didn't get sacked.
Time. Yeah. No, the O-line was really, I thought the O-line was pretty good. I thought the second team O-line was pretty good.
I mean, none of them gave up a sack.
Yeah, no sacks allowed is one of the things that you want to see. What we wanted to see in this, and as they start kind of seeing how the line's shaking out and what it looks like, there was a lot of positives from that. Because I think when we've talked so much this offseason, and we've talked about practice too, and at camp and how it's been, the tackles have gotten their work, and we're talking about, it's Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker, and is it that, or are they going to be able to hold up? And they looked pretty good, and that's what you can ask for at this point in time.
It's wild how you can see something in camp and then the opposite in a game. You look at Tyson Campbell, had a great camp, hit an awful game.
Yeah, right.
And it wasn't all like a couple of he was off coverage on 1 3rd and 2. I was like, what are you doing 8 yards off the ball? But he missed a tackle on 3rd and 2. He's the free hitter. You got to make that tackle. He got caught up in the wash trying to cover Robert Woods. It was only a 4-yard gain. He gave up the 19-yard dig. He's got to be on that. The touchdown wasn't his. I didn't like the cover. I don't like the cover 3 call in the red zone. I think we got to forget about that. There are at least too many holes, unless you're going to get some rush. But isn't it interesting like that? Because the O-line struggled most of the camp. They
and the secondaries was dominating most of camp.
Right, and then our defense was kicking their butt all the time. Well, guess what? They didn't touch the quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, Rudolph sat back there all day like, hey, I'm having this is great.
Making a sandwich.
Man, I wish I could play this front all the time.
He's a Hall of Famer, right, Tom?
After the other night he won. No, but listen, they both threw, Thompson and Rudolph. They were 8.3 and 8.4 yards per attempt. That means they had time to throw, and their receivers are getting downfield and they're taking those shots. So, not a good day by the defense at all.
No,
they're going to have, and I saw what Trayvon said. They went up tempo on one play. I don't think they went up tempo. I don't think that threw you off the rest of the game. But look, we still have the same issues on defense.
Yeah,
we can't get to the quarterback. There's no inside pressure. The run game is fine. We stopped the run. It wasn't like they ran on us that much or hardly at all. But we just let that quarterback sit back there. And you can say vanilla, fine. But then you still got to get there, And by the way, on 2nd and 19, did you see where they dropped Josh Hines-Allen and rushed 3?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So I think, look, first time for the coordinators, we'll give them some bit of benefit of doubt. First game overall. It was fine. There's nothing, too great other than the kicks, the kick.
Yeah.
Nothing too bad, really overall. Just kind of ho-hum, I guess, if you look at it as a whole.
Yeah, for me, the lack of pass rush was shocking. Like, the Steelers have a lot of backups
Best
out there
in the
on
biz.
the field.
Where's the best in the biz?
Yeah. Right. And I did not see, and to your point, I did not see any pass rush in that, and that just was the thing that I thought I would walk away saying, yes, these two defensive ends are unblockable. And there's guys in that room now, too. Danny Strigow, the undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
I thought he showed some flashes. And I thought collectively I'd walk away and say, that this group is going to be hard to block, even though there were backups on the field.
Yeah, because it was him and Smoot who got to the quarterback, and those are not the ones you probably would have tallied in to be those people. I do think that there's going to, for me, and this is going to continue to be a conversation with Eric Armstead and Mason Smith, because I think that without them, there's a lot of concerns on that interior and what it can look like, and that's what you've been kind of banking on from, let's get this interior pass rush, and that opens up a lot more opportunities. And you're just not seeing that, and it's unfortunate. And I'm hoping Mason Smith's back soon, and you start to see something. But I also don't know how, if Eric Armstead's not out there, I don't even know how much Mason Smith is going to change things just by himself.
No, I agree with that. I think you need both. I do think Jordan Jefferson deserves some run with the number ones. He comes off the ball really aggressively. He's good with his hands. I don't think he's a nose guy, but I think he could play that interior. When they go to nickel. Type thing. I just feel like you know what you got out of Lacey and you know what you got out of Hamilton. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's just not good enough. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it hasn't been. I'm not ready to throw in a towel on them by any means, but you would have thought that would have been a lot better, come Saturday night. But look, Pittsburgh did have at least 4 out of their 5 starting O-linemen. So it wasn't like they were all backups. Now, the skill positions were, but the line was their first team for the most part. So, they got a good test and they didn't pass very well. That doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Doesn't mean they're not going to be a good defense.
Sure.
But they've got to get a little bit more aggressive. I'm out of read and react. I don't like that. You got to go dictate some things on that side of the ball. And I think Campanelli will learn from it. I do. I think he'll be like, all right, listen, we got to figure this out. He can't drop back in zone.
Yeah, first-time defensive coordinator. It's a preseason game. The end result doesn't matter. Right. Mason Smith today was continued working basically by himself again. Yeah. He at least was outside, though. Eric Armstead was working by himself inside. And when asked after practice about Eric Armstead, Liam Cohen just said, I have no update on him. So that
I don't like this.
This doesn't sound good at all.
Sure does not. All right, we will continue the conversation about the Jags' first preseason game. And Tom has his takeaways on the other side. It's a Big Chief Tire Monday. You can find them online at WeKeepJacksRollin.com. 6 locations around town. If ever I need anything with my vehicle, I, of course, go to Big Chief Tire. It's 1010XL 92.5 FM.
1010XL is committed to getting you closer to your favorite players. That's why we send Jags beat reporter Hayes Carlyon to bring you back one-on-one interviews in the locker room. Unsealed by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When cockroaches move into your home or business, you want them out fast. At Terminix, they don't just get rid of cockroaches, they evict them, and they work to prevent them from coming back. Because no one likes an uninvited pest. When roaches show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a roach problem. I certainly don't. Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, is now available at the Fresh Market Spirits and Wine. The Fresh Market Spirits and Wine is a new adult beverage store offering spirits, wine, beer, and accessories at A1A North in Ponte Vedra, a first-of-its-kind destination for thoughtfully curated spirits, wine, and beer as only the Fresh Market can. And now, you can get Brackish Vodka at the Fresh Market. Brackish Vodka, for whatever your sport is. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
It's a Big Chief Tire Monday on Helmets and Heels.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at Cleaning Freaks at Zero Res. Great time of the year to get your house Zero Resified. And right now, you can get your entire home cleaned from Jacksonville's ultimate carpet cleaner. You'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $135. Plus, they're throwing in a free hallway and take $100 off the air duct cleaning. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com or call 287-5727 and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spelled backwards or forwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
They were right. It could have waited. I can't beleave it happened to me. Right reaching to check my phone. Now my family has to hear that I'm never coming home again.
Officer?
I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
Every day, 9 people on Florida roadways don't make it home. I was one of the people that didn't make it home.
Ride with Do Not Disturb. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Get closer to nature.
Trying to get close to these bucks out here.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Walls. The Nimnicht Outdoor Show. Presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning, 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Oh, you gonna take me home tonight? Oh, down beside that red firelight. Oh, you gonna let it all hang out, fat bottom girls. You make the rockin' world go round.
I love this song.
Great.
I do too.
Get on your bike and ride.
That's right. Get on your bikes and ride. Queen Fat Bottom Girls on this Monday, this Big Chief Tire Monday, reacting to RJ's trying to put us in a better mood as we're reacting to the Jaguars' performance against the Steelers Saturday night. We've talked certainly, and we are going to continue to talk about how the defense, I think, disappointed us would be the best way to say it, based off of what we've seen at training camp to this point. One person did get mad at me on social media because of Tyson Campbell's performance. And he was like, but you said he's had a good camp. I'm like, and if you had been to every Jags practice like we've been, you would have said the exact same thing. Tyson has looked fantastic.
Yes.
He was not out there today. He does have an undisclosed injury.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
I'm assuming stemming from, the game on Saturday night. And then on the offensive line, Anton Harrison was not at practice today due to an excused absence.
Okay.
So Patrick McCary got work at right tackle.
Good.
I will say the fact that they started the game with that false start penalty, I think that infuriated their head coach.
Yeah.
And today we saw 40 plays where they were just getting the call, getting lined up, and then they blow the whistle and do it over and over and over again. So I do think, even though he's a first time head coach, Liam Cohen, I think he's understands what he needs to do in order to get these guys to do what he wants them to do.
Well, a false start in the very first play. Hey, you're not going against TJ Watt.
I was like, here we go.
You don't have to jump early.
TJ Watt, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And you're sitting there, the coach going, man, is your head in the game? Like, what are you doing false starting the first play of the game, and there's no threat?
Yeah.
You know, what are you worried about?
Yeah, I think that's definitely not the way. If you want to talk about opposite momentum to start a game, that is not what you want, especially the way that the defense was looking. And then you have 8 penalties. That's not something that you want to see. That's a lot of undisciplined things happening in that sense. And then even when you talk offensively, they were 3 for 10 or 3 for 11 on third downs. You don't want that either. This is what we've been talking about. And I know some of that, it's the backup. It wasn't really that first team, but still, it's like, it's those things that are a little frustrating. And it's early. It's preseason. That's what these things are for, to start shaking out this and seeing what works and what doesn't work. But those are the things that in this next month of football you want to see change.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't have those errors. They just hurt you. Now, it didn't. Look, get them out now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get rid of them now, man, because you can't have that happen come the regular season. And when those little things happen, they start adding up. Next thing you know, you got 3 or 4 of those. Yeah. Not just false starts, but across the board.
Yeah, sure.
Other
on
places
the first drive,
as well.
they had 3 penalties. One
the
was
block in the
declined.
back was.
Yeah, it was technically a legal block above the waist. That's the one that was called on Walker Little, and that's.
I didn't see Walker. I thought it was Ezra, because Ezra kind of hit the guy in the back a little bit, but man, I thought that was kind of ticky.
Poor Walker got the penalty on it, and the OPI on Brian Thomas Jr. offensive pass interference. They declined that because both penalties were on one play. But it's like, okay, guys, this is like you said, Tom. This is the time to get it out, but this is also time to make it look like hopefully what the regular season is going to look like, and that's smooth and efficient.
Well, Brian Thomas blocking before he gets the ball, that's just timing. He doesn't have eyes in the back of his head. He's not turned around looking at him. He's thinking, all right, I'm downfield. He should have the ball by now, but for some reason that wasn't the case. So I'm not too concerned. And I thought that that was a little tacky, the call. Yeah. I wouldn't have called it. I'm not a ref, but I wouldn't have called it. I thought it was I thought Ezra came around on a trap block. Now, granted, 41 ended up making the play. There were 2 guys, and he's got it. I don't know if 41 was on a blitz or what, but he went by him and took out the end, and he crushed the end. 41 tripped up ETN. I think it was his first carry of the game. But nonetheless, I thought Ezra fought pretty good. You know who's a little scrappy is Monheim. I was checking him out the second team. Yeah, he was getting after it a little bit. Yeah, it was. But overall, I thought the O-lines, they were serviceable, man. They were fine. Again, I think the backs, at least ETN and Bigsby, they both had chances to hit a big one, and they just missed those openings. So it's, again, get them out now. Sure. So when you get to the regular season, you see those things. You can cut on a dime and make it happen.
41 is the starter for the Steelers.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Inside linebacker Peyton Wilson.
Yeah, he runs like a 4.3, that kid. Yeah, North Carolina State or something like that. Yeah, he had like a ton of tackles. He led the ACC, I think. He's a good player, no doubt about it.
All right, we got to talk about Travis Hunter, but first, here are Tom's takeaways.
Now.
Okay, it's go time.
Tommy's takeaways. Jacked up by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We are here for you. Veteran owned and operated.
Yeah, my takeaways today brought to you by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Center around Travis Hunter, man. Yeah, listen.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I know you didn't. I surprised you. I thought I'd surprise you. Look, I thought it was, first of all, number 1, first guy to play both ways in how long. So that was definitely incredible just to have him out there. Listen, I didn't think he did anything truly dynamic, but did his job. He covered well. He's very sticky on coverage, so that's good. The missed tackle, people got upset with me because, listen, I watched it over and over and over again. Now, the guy didn't stiff arm it into the ground, but his hand hit his head. His head hit the floor because the first thing he did when he got up was fix his helmet, and then he's fudging with his things. I think he was a little like, I can't believe I missed that tackle. Yeah. I wasn't giving him grief for it. I was like, man, I get it. It was like a little, man, I hope nobody saw that, but everyone saw it because they're expecting to make that tackle. And in all seriousness, he's got to make the tackle because he's going to face guys coming back. He has the force in that defense, which means everything's got to be turned inside. That was really his only mistake. His head was on the inside. It should have been on the outside. He probably would have made that tackle. On offense, look, he runs great routes. You can see his speed, the quick screen where he got up the field and looked really good there. Brian Baldinger's like, oh, man, if he didn't slip, I don't know. You can't really tell if he would have broken that one. But nonetheless, very active. The only negative I would say, and it's not about him, but the offense, I would have liked to have seen a shot downtown. Even with that first offense, 3rd and 12 before the field goal, the first field goal, you should have went for it. I think you should have taken some at least a shot downtown. But nonetheless, overall, I thought Travis Hunter did a great job. He's going to get better, and they're going to use him more. I tell you, though, like I've said all along, the physicality of making tackles in the run game is where you gotta see if he can do it. I think he can, but hold up doing it.
Yeah.
Because this isn't college anymore. And that wasn't Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Not that we have to worry about Derrick Henry unless we're in the playoffs, right? But there's other backs that are gonna come at you, and you're gonna have to make those tackles. So I think it was a little bit of maybe of an NFL moment. Like he's like, oh whoa, how did I miss? Like I really thought when he got up, he's like, how did I miss that? Like this is.
He was like fidgety a little bit. Like, I hope nobody just saw that happen.
Yeah, but anyway, it was exciting to have him out there, and listen, we'll look forward to seeing what he brings. But brought to you by my good friends at J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
I almost started the show with your controversial tweet.
Yeah, people got very mad at you.
About when you said Travis got stiff-armed, and people were like, he did not get stiff-armed. And I know, like, Logan Bowles, who was down on the field and got the video, Logan was like, I didn't think it was a stiff-arm live. And look, I think Jaguars fans know what a stiff arm looks like.
Yeah, Derrick Henry's done it many times.
Right, so like to us, a true stiff arm means like you're going to shove the person.
It's still bopping the ground, though.
Just from the guy that's missed plenty of tackles, you normally don't whack your face on the ground missing just a normal tackle.
That is fair.
Unless someone pushes it down.
I think the whole Travis Hunter thing, the news kind of got buried because of Cam Little's 70-yard field goal.
Yeah.
So the excitement that going into the game of, wow, the fact that, and obviously we've seen it in training camp,
right?
But nationally, for people who haven't been in training camp, that was a headliner. But he didn't play obviously very much on offense, and he did tell Liam Cohen after the game, after Liam took the ones out, he asked to go back in, and Liam was like, "No, we gotta keep monitoring how many snaps that you're going to play and stuff like that. And it is just the first preseason game. Relax. But I feel like that's good news. This guy obviously has the motor. We know that. Mm-hmm. But we want to see him do more offensively. And I thought he looked fantastic as a corner.
Yeah, I think that it's going to, honestly, it might be good that Cam Little kind of took the spotlight a little bit and I think it's good to let him ease into things a little bit without it being all Travis Hunter and people expecting him to have multiple picks and 100 yards in every game. Like let things kind of start to like organically and naturally come to, because he is learning two different positions, and we're talking about those playbooks and the difference of that. And you've mentioned a lot like how much Trevor is taking on playbook wise, and Travis Hunter is doing two different sides of the ball with this. So maybe it is a good thing, like take the light off of him a little bit and let it just organically happen rather than like forcing things, which I think offensively that's kind of what it was too. It was simple, and it wasn't asking Trevor to do too much. It was doing what he's good at. When you talk about, getting the ball out quick, you saw him make multiple reads. That's what you want to see from him, but not having to like force things too much to where Trevor has to play that hero ball where it starts to get in his head.
I think as far as Travis as a corner, he is, like B said, that's his natural. You can tell the way he just mirrors a wide receiver. It's natural. It's like he's playing basketball, guarding him in the open court. He's right on him. So his coverage skills, and they are very good.
Yeah,
and
he's the best corner on this team. So we're going to have that conversation this season, just depending on what Tyson Campbell looks like.
Played,
Jordan Lewis looks like. Jarian Jones looks like. Jarian might be like, hey, no, I'm the best corner, and Jordan's probably saying the same thing.
And I was just thinking that which we're already talking about a Tyson Campbell injury, and he played 10 snaps. So if Tyson gets hurt again, if you're dealing with more injuries from Tyson Campbell, and it looks like you go Jarian and Travis Hunter, what does that look for Hunter on the other side?
No, right.
If he has to be the starting number 1 or 2.
Right, but there's also Buster Brown once he comes back from injury, and then Christian Braswell was a captain.
Yeah.
They acknowledged him, and Foye Luakin and Chuma Adoga for their offseason workouts.
He had good and bad moments yesterday. There was a couple where I was like, "Ooh, that wasn't pretty."
Braswell?
Secondary, Braswell.
Yeah. He's been around. You can kind of.
He was out there
he's
today.
Solid. He's serviceable. I don't know if he's starter everyday material. You want to count on him, but listen, you also got Prince. He's got to come on along a little bit. Buster, hopefully he's getting healthy, because I think he can play corner when needed.
Yeah, I think it would be Buster, Jordan, and Jarian at this point would be like as far as starting if Tyson Campbell wasn't able to play, and then Travis Hunter still subbing in.
Yeah.
But if he's your best, if you're talking about he's your first or second best corner outside of Tyson, you have to put him there. You can't avoid that.
That's a great point, Taylor. I mean, if you, especially if you need him, what are you going to do? Like, okay, Put him on where he's best at.
I would love for him to be a starting corner because I've thought all along he's a better corner than receiver, but I don't think that's how they're going to approach it and have him play 100% of the snaps at corner and play offense too.
Yeah, him getting up the field on that quick screen makes me want him on offense for a little bit because he got up there pretty darn quick.
I think,
for sure.
To your point earlier, talking about his NFL moment, I think when he got caught, like when he was tackled, when he tried to do a spin move and then he ended up getting tackled, I think that in his head offensively, he was like, that never happened to me in college.
I can't do the same thing I did in Colorado.
When I did a spin move in Colorado, like I was gone. I took that to the house. And so, and I do think there was a time too, Nick Mullins, had he put the ball maybe like a yard farther out in front of Parker Washington.
Oh, yeah, for
that
sure.
would have been a touchdown.
Big play.
Right.
Yeah,
and so
that one.
Mullins obviously doesn't have the arm that Trevor does. So you immediately saw once the ones weren't out there that I don't know.
Yeah, we need Trevor to stay healthy, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know if Nick Mullins is by far the best, like, second quarterback on the roster. Like, best backup quarterback, I should say. Like, I think there's a bit of a competition there now.
I think Hennigan deserves some more reps. I think Wolford deserves some more reps. You know,
I wonder if that changes
on the
against
throw to Parker. That could have been just throwing it late. You know, didn't throw it on time. You know, that kind of thing. But man, he did have them, and you got to put it out there. That's your job, man. You got to put it out there, let him go get it, and that would have been at least a big gain, if not a touchdown, for sure. So
and again today, by the way, Parker Washington, amazing catch. I don't know if the Jaguars have posted it yet, but
Savage
against Savage, and I watched Savage go to the sideline, and he was
mad,
very frustrated. So the coaches came over, talked to him, and he was fine after that. But I love to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
even though it's just your teammate, like he was just furious with himself. And we saw more frustration a little bit from Brian Thomas Jr. today too. But again, like these guys are hard on themselves. They want to be perfect. I get it.
Yeah. Well, and they want to score touchdowns in the preseason.
Yeah.
So they weren't happy about Friday night or Saturday night.
All right, we've got more to do on the other side. It is a Big Chief Tire Monday. 6 locations around Jacksonville. The newest is in Mandarin. You can find them online at wekeepjacksrollin.com. Whether you need tires, brake services, wheel alignments, or oil changes, they're the best in the business. It's 10 to Nix on 92.5 FM.
It's a Big Chief Tire Monday. The local Jacksonville shop for fair prices and service you can trust.
Your grandfather was stronger at 50 than you are at 40. Want to know why? His testosterone was 30% higher than yours. That's not genetics. That's modern life killing your hormones. Stress, chemicals, sitting, it's all crushing your T levels. Male Excel reverses it. Prescription testosterone, thyroid optimization, personalized to you. Over 100,000 men are already winning again. Your turn. Try MaleExcel.com. Free assessment, because you deserve it. Your family deserves it.
Hey, it's Joe C. My friends at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can elevate your grilling experience with a durable high-end grill from great brands like Coyote, DCS, Alfresco, and American Made, and make an outdoor kitchen custom built to your taste and lifestyle. Visit their local showroom and see all the new displays at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
You dream it, we build it. CSS.
Calling all poker players. The Best Bet Summer Swing Series kicks off August 18th at Best Bet Orange Park with a $200 no-limit hold'em and a $100,000 guarantee. Next stop, Best Bet St. Augustine with a $150,000 guaranteed poker tournament. Then wrap it up Labor Day weekend in Jacksonville with a massive $300,000 guarantee. Play all 3 events and swing for big winnings. Get all the details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Hacker here. You know, those of you that have listened to me for years realize that I used to do a lot of different weight loss things, a lot of different things that I tried that just never worked for one reason or the other. And then Awaken 180 Weight Loss came along, and I heard Mike Dempsey and Matt Hayes talking about it, and I thought, you know what the heck? What do I have to lose? I'm going to give it a try. I had low expectations, to be honest, based on previous history, but I learned very quickly that Awaken 180 Weight Loss is the best weight loss program I was ever on. I dropped 19 15 pounds my first 2 weeks on Awaken 180 weight loss. Went on to lose over 100 pounds total. I'm keeping the weight off with the Awaken 180 weight loss maintenance program. Awaken 180 weight loss, without a shadow of a doubt, is the best weight loss program I have ever been on, and the results speak for themselves. If it's time for you to lose some weight like it was for me, go to awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. You can do it. Awaken 180 weight loss.
Rebound Rehabilitation. 11 great locations across the First Coast, and they're just a click away when it comes to feeling strong and healthy again. If you need the best path to recovery, look no further than Rebound Rehab. Log on and check out one of their great 11 locations.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron, totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens, also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings, and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
New and pre-owned firearms are always in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimbar, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Everybody get up.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you on this Big Chief Tire Monday, breaking down all things Steelers Jaguars from Saturday night. We, of course, talked about Cam Little's 70-yarder, and we've talked a ton about what has made us nervous after certainly watching I would say, less than stellar defensive performance. And then offensively, I think the Jaguars did some good things, but at no point in time did I walk away thinking the Jaguars were trying to win that preseason game.
Yeah.
Whereas, to me, not that the Steelers cared, but you could tell, Taylor, to me, how physical, and Brooke Pryor told us this on Friday, how physical Mike Tomlin's camps are, his training camps, because I thought that was on full display. Like, the Jaguars were maybe not nearly as physical, or not quite as physical as the Steelers.
Yeah, I would say they weren't close to as physical, especially defensively, as the Steelers are. And you could see that almost right away out of the gates. You could tell that the practices are a little are different. And I was talking to my stepdad about this, and he was like, they look like they're just out physicaling every part of us right now. And I'm like, I think part of that is just the way the camps are run. And we talked about that with Brooke Pryor, and she said, this is what Mike Tomlin does. This is how he runs his camps, but they're ready. They're ready to go. And I feel like for the Jags, that's why it may take some time, because they're not having that type of camp.
Well, it sounds like tomorrow's full pads and Thursday's a scrimmage.
Yeah.
Like a structured scrimmage, but a scrimmage. So he's saying, hey, we're not done with camp. We're still hitting. We're still banging. So I like that. I know they ran a lot of plays today. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and hopefully they're going to be physical. But look, like Brooke was saying last week, they were tackling to the ground, and that's really risky. I mean, because you get hurt. I mean, anybody can get hurt out there, obviously. But you're a creature of habit, too. How do you get ready? Yep. Now, here's something, just to the other side of it. I can remember San Fran. This is in the 90s, right? Okay. 95 through 99. San Fran was known. They'd start camp. They'd be in pads for like 4 days, and the rest, they were never in pads. But every Sunday, they came out physical. So how do you know what I mean? Like, how did they do that back then? They just had the right players that said, hey, man, we're going to show up, and they're giving us this time to, heal our bodies, whatever, so we better reward them by, I don't know. But it's amazing that you can get it done with not being physical, but you got to have all the right kind of guys. But I agree. I think you got to bang. Look, they've been a little physical. It hasn't been like Doug's. Doug's wasn't physical at all. They've been some things, not full speed, but they've popped a little bit. Maybe this week they pop more, just to get ready and get a little bit better. Again, I don't think you'd walk away from the game if you're Liam Cohen very happy about the defense. You want that to be better. I tell you, I think some of the calls need to be more aggressive. I do, and I think he said that, or I think he would think that too.
Yeah, but in the preseason, Like,
you don't have to blitz, but don't drop why would you drop 41 into coverage and rush 3 when 2 of them can't even rush?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Trayvon can rush, but the other 2, I think it was Hamilton, whoever else was out there. You're like, what are you doing? What is this? And then
started with Hamilton and Lacey.
And then the off coverage with Tyson Campbell on 3rd and 2. What are you doing? That you can't play off coverage there because all they do is they do that. I forget the word they got. There's they'll scream it out. And it's just a quick throw. Hey, just go up 2 and turn around. First down. I mean, that was like, now granted, preseason, but at the same time, you're like, let's be more aggressive. Like, get in his face. It's 3rd and 2. Like, don't let him pitch and catch you down the field.
So here's what I think: if the Jaguars' defense was average last season, just average. I'm not asking for an elite defense. I think people would be far less critical of Saturday night, and they would just chalk it up to Campanile is the first-time coordinator, and he's not trying to show anything as far as the tools in the toolbox. But because the Jaguars' defense was so bad last season, now that's when I think people are starting to worry even more than they already were.
Did they look any different?
No, but Liam said that that was not on purpose, but schematically they were not showing what they're going to be. So that's why I just wonder if they literally looked at it and said, I don't care if they score.
Yeah, I feel like you don't want to let Skylar Thompson go 20 for 28, 230 yards and multiple touchdowns, even with whoever is on the field, because to me, that was an issue. And I think that's what we're looking at last year. The secondary was one of the worst in the NFL last year. There was a lot of issues all over. And honestly, when the season ended, everybody said we need to address the interior defensive line. And I know this Eric Armstead and Mason Smith stuff, but still they didn't do anything on the interior. So now people are looking at that and they're saying, okay, maybe like we put a lot of it on Ryan Nielsen last year with play calling and schematics, and we thought, and you're thinking that you're going to see a change, and it looked the same. It looked the same as it did in December of last year, and so that's going to be in people's head until you see difference.
Yeah, and they're vanilla too. They weren't doing anything. They were just dropping back and making throws. They were just more aggressive, in their play calling. So they weren't doing anything exotic.
Having 5 seconds, just chilling.
Yeah, they
back
just
there.
had all day. So our guys were just getting beat. Which, it's one game. You can't get too excited about it. So I don't.
Oh, but that's a rational line of thinking that you can't get too excited about it, and people are not rational. Look,
it's a passionate game.
I walked away going, I can't believe I drove downtown, sat in the press box for 3 hours, and that is the effort that was given on defense, especially. But I then calmed myself down and said, they don't care. Like, I know the Steelers don't care either. The Steelers backups are probably better than the Jaguars backups, but the Jaguars starters might be better than Steelers starters. I don't know. We didn't get to see that. And so before, yes, I overreact too much about what we saw. Let's take a step back because the Jaguars went undefeated in the preseason last year.
But our starters didn't go against all their. I mean, Cam Hayward wasn't out there. TJ Watt wasn't out there. Highsmith wasn't out there.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if our starters are better than their starters. I have no idea because we didn't really get to see it.
Not probably.
But the Steelers aren't a great football team, so then that's why when people say, well, are you going to change your expectations for the season, the records that we predicted? Like, no, not yet.
Yeah. After one game, I'm not changing my record, but when I came into the concerns I had in March, for example, haven't shifted too much from that game either. And so that's the thing. I'm kind of like in this limbo of I'm still worried about the trenches, and I know the offensive line played decent, so that was a surprise. But when it comes to the interior defensive line and the secondary, where I think there's still some concerns there. And what we've also been saying is if Tyson Campbell's not out there, what happens to that defense? Because it's fallen apart every time that he ends up getting injured, and then now he's injured already.
All I'm saying is that what we saw Friday night, they did good against the run, right? But they looked the same against the pass. The quarterback had all day, and they were open.
There was a coverage sack on the bonus side of things, which we haven't seen a coverage sack in quite some time. Yeah, it's concerning, of course, for sure. And I understand that people would say, like, for Taylor, she predicted a 10-win season. I have 11. I can understand people saying there's no chance this team is going to win games based off of what they saw. But you can't extrapolate preseason to the regular season, or else we would put way more into all these preseason games, right? Like, there are guys that are going to shine in the preseason that we won't ever talk about in the regular season, not just in Jacksonville, but around the league.
Well, here's the thing. The only thing that matters is the regular season, but you want to see improvement, right? So it's all stages. Let's be honest. What we saw in camp practice was not what we saw on the game.
For sure.
Is that fair to
right,
say
so
that?
which one is accurate? What we've seen in
the
camp?
game means more than practice.
Yeah.
But practice has a
when
lot
you're
of
tackling
value.
and you're hitting and you can actually go after the quarterback, that matters more.
Practice does have a lot of value. There's no doubt, but the game has more value. Now, second game, however they play, like you got to see improvement. If you see improvement, you feel. All I'm saying is, like, I want to go into the regular season feeling good about the team, not wondering are they going to be good, not wondering if this defense is going to show up or if the offensive line is going to be good. You know what I mean? Not wondering if we're all going to be on the same page with our routes and our throws and all that. You know what I mean? Like, I want to go in knowing. I want to feel really good about. And look, and again, you can't compare it to everybody, but I would have liked the 9 for 10, 123 for 2 touchdowns. Go down the field, throw the ball. I mean, what did Cincinnati do? Jamar Chase, go down the field. Here, I'll throw it to you. Touchdown. We got Brian Thomas Jr. What? We didn't do that. We didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. I'm just saying, like, I'd like to see more. I don't want to be sitting there because if someone says, "Hey, Tom, how do you feel about this team?" Guess what I say? I don't know.
I have no idea.
I really don't know. They could be good. They could be not good. I don't
think the preseason's going to tell us
how many games you're going to win. But realistically, you only probably have a half of. They'll probably play a half next week, and then nobody's going to play the third.
Nobody's going to play
the third game.
Right.
So what you have is what you may be getting in that week one to
the
start.
joint practice with the Dolphins will tell us
You'll see a little bit,
lot more. Yeah, you know, those joints, those are important.
Those joints are very important.
Man, all around.
All right, Taylor Dahl has a tangent when we return. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The race is on.
Closing the gap.
Saturday at Richmond.
Fighting for every point.
NASCAR is tuned up by Maxie's Mechanics on Jacksonville's high-performance NASCAR station, 1010XL.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, got a minute?
Always. What's on your mind?
This time of year, my air conditioner is running non-stop. Hot all day, hot all night. It has to run constantly just to keep up.
Well, that's what they do.
But if something happens to it in the middle of a 2-week heat wave, I'm in trouble, Jason. I can't wait 3 days or 2 days or even the next day for service. If you can't get someone here today, I'm sweating by tonight. What if it breaks, Jason?
You call me, pal. That's what we do. Bueller Air and Plumbing.
But you're probably swamped with calls from everyone else's AC that ran nonstop and then broke in a heat wave, so they called you because that's what you do.
But we always have room for an emergency. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we have techs standing by because we know these things happen.
So I don't need to worry. Wow. That time you calmed me down without even using the sunglasses.
Oh, I was reaching for them.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Big Chief Tire Monday on Helmets and Heels.
Summer's winding down, and we know you want to enjoy what's left of it. But before you celebrate this Labor Day weekend, plan ahead and know all your options. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel. Instead, designate a sober driver or catch a ride service. And if you are the designated sober driver, commit to staying sober. Celebrate responsibly and remember to drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Is your backyard ready for the big leagues? Pick it here for Surfside Pools. Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, they have the home field advantage. Family owned and operated, offering weekly pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools make your backyard dreams a reality. Are you ready to float happy? Visit SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, your hometown MVP.
License number CPC 044080.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Rest-A-Pros.
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Rest-A-Pros.
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to RestaProsAnyFlorida.com. That's RestaProsAnyFlorida.com.
Rest-A-Pros.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 11th, 1991, American hero John Daly wins his first major championship after winning the PGA Championship at Crooked Stick.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, is now available at the Fresh Market Spirits and Wine. The Fresh Market Spirits and Wine is a new adult beverage store offering spirits, wine, beer, and accessories at A1A North in Ponte Vedra, a first-of-its-kind destination for thoughtfully curated spirits, wine, and beer as only the Fresh Market can. And now, you can get Brackish Vodka at the Fresh Market. Brackish Vodka, for whatever your sport is. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Firehouse Subs has fries. Your hometown hero since '94 just cranked up the heat. Hot subs, crispy fries, golden, pillowy on the inside, and perfectly seasoned. Over 30 Jacksonville locations. Firehouse Subs, homegrown and now with fries.
Now this is how you end a summer. Under the lights, surrounded by history. The driver's last shot at the playoffs. Your last chance to see regular season action. Friday night, Xfinity lights the fuse. Saturday night, the Cup Series delivers the fireworks. This is Daytona. This is everything. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 22nd and 23rd. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? You have questions? Call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Running play with Tootin. Tries to pick his way. Broke a tackle. Got it inside the 5. Keeps those legs churning. They're still churning. Toward the goal line. Tootin near the goal line. Touchdown! He carried defenders with him into the end zone for the score.
I was so excited earlier to talk about Cam Little's 70-yard field goal. I forgot to mention Frank Frangie and Jeff Logman on the call for that one. And then, of course, you just heard Frank Frangie with the Tootin touchdown. I thought that was unbelievable to actually see this offensive line be able to get in a running back, be able to get that short yardage into the end zone. Again, we understand it's against backups, but still, that was
we did it.
Yeah, that was something we have not seen here in quite some time.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty last year once they got to that part of the field.
Short yardage.
Yeah, in general
zone,
short
yeah.
yardage, yeah. Yeah.
Well, the boys came and helped him out.
Yeah,
so
right. That's what you're
nice
supposed
scrum.
to do.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
It was good. I was more impressed with him on that reception where he kind of the one leg went over the defender and he was full speed in like 2-3 steps, man. He's got some speed.
Wheels.
He's got some wheels, yeah. And I think he's got some vision too. I like to see him back there a little bit more. I think a couple guys earned some more time. You know, like Wyatt Milam, I think, earned some more time. I think Tootin deserves a little more time. I wouldn't start Strigro, whatever his name. You got to give him a run at the second with the twos. You know, he played pretty well.
Yeah, he had a strip sack. That's an impressive feat. Again, we understand it's a preseason game. The result does not matter. But in the end, you are looking for those things, and that's what the coaches are looking for, too. Today, Liam said he's got the roster probably right around 50 players that he knows are making the team. So they're fighting. Those battles are for just the last 3 spots.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the practice squad.
Yeah, you look at like Trammell, you know, with his punt return.
Sure.
One that was pretty darn good, one that wasn't that good. But overall, you know, he's fighting for that. You know, if he can get in there.
Those are always, by the way, those moments to remind me of how fast football is. Like, because when we're at training camp, they're not doing that stuff live action, right?
No, right.
And then the moment that there's a punt return or a kick return and everyone's colliding, it's like, whew, yeah.
There it is.
We always say it's a violent game, and I'm not even on the field. I'm just in the press box. But those guys, I'm like, I bet they're pretty sore today because it's the first time they've done that.
Oh, yeah, they probably are. And I think that those are the things when we talk about special teams. That's one of the more confident areas we have on this team, if not the most confident.
Absolutely the most confident. Yeah, if you talk
we
about
have on this team, so it's great. You have that. I like jokingly tweeted, I was like, you know, at least we have special teams, and that's what it is. But it is important because, and we saw the change to, because obviously with the kickoff change, and if it bounces into they get it on the 35. So you're getting you're potentially, which we're not really worried about that here because Logan Cook can pin it wherever he wants to pin it. But I do think that is going to kind of change certain teams' strategy. If they don't have the punter they trust in that's going to change the way they're going to have to approach their special teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, throw in Antonio Johnson, throw in Lane the third.
Ray and Lane, yeah.
He can play special
also,
teams.
LaQuinn Allen had a nice tackle on special teams, like you said, as did Ray and Lane. Yeah, Heath Farwell, who was the only coach really retained, he does a fantastic job with special teams. The problem is special teams is only one part of the game and not usually on the field as much as the offense and the defense. All right, Taylor Dahl has a tangent.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
I'm using my tangent today to give a shout out to the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. They're playing very, very good baseball right now, and it's really fun to watch. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games, 23-13 since that halfway mark where they were already international, the first half league champions. And so now they are 29 games over 500 on the season and still remain first in the international league overall. They're third in the second half, but overall for the season, they are first in the international league, and they're 3 games ahead of Durham. They're back this week, and guess what? Tomorrow, it's Dollar Hot Dog Day at the park. So
you already have your ticket?
I have not. I just saw it today, but I was like, I might have to go now. But
I'll be there Saturday night.
Are you?
If anybody wants to join in.
So I just want to give them a shout out because I think it's really fun to watch. When the Jumbo Shrimp, people go anyways. There's always, those games are packed, especially on the weekends, but it's the first time that they're 29 now, over 500 for the first time since 2006. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
They're playing really good, and it's fun.
Yeah.
We haven't had that postseason magic from the Shrimp in a while.
That's great family fun.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. You know what
Especially
I mean?
on Dollar Hot Dog.
Yeah,
Yes. You can take the whole family.
Everybody, you get a hot dog. You get a hot dog.
Dad, where are we going for dinner? We're going to the ballpark, man. Where do you think we're
I
going?
want a cheeseburger. Not tonight.
No, you get the hot
getting
dog.
a hot
Cheese.
dog.
No.
Which, by the way, I don't know if you guys saw this video. The White Sox had, I guess they broke a record. It was a 50-foot long hot dog that they had at their game, and it was like
Oh my God.
50 people that had to carry this hot dog across the field. The amount of people that tagged me in this video.
Oh my gosh.
That's how you know you're obsessed with the hot dogs.
Yeah.
For sure. The Jumbo Shrimp, it's so much fun, and especially in the evening games, the sun goes down.
Yeah,
it's cool because
it's
I know
nice.
people worry about the heat and everything like that, but
The night ones really
it's
aren't
gorgeous
bad.
out.
You always get a pretty nice breeze out there.
Absolutely, yeah. It's right close to the St. Johns River, certainly, and sometimes you'll get to see really nice sunsets there too. But so certainly looking forward to that. All right, we've got lunch to give away, not hot dogs.
We do, not
but
hot
Chick-fil-A.
dogs, but we have Chick-fil-A, free Chick-fil-A. Give us a call at 641-1010, and you get free lunch today.
By the way, going back quickly to Friday night, how was
let's say caller number 3. Sorry, I forgot to pick a number.
RJ,
Just have somebody guess.
RJ will pick it for you.
Figure it out.
How were the dad bods?
That
Friday
was
night?
great. Yeah, we had a great time at Culhane's. Great crowd. Had great 3 great sets. So yeah, we're feeling pretty good about it. Went through 4 shirts, so nice and sweaty.
Even though you were
called it.
Yeah. 1 pair of jeans though, so I didn't have to change
That's
those.
good.
That was 2. That was pretty good. But yeah, it was good. It was a good time. Thanks
Good.
for asking.
Yeah, of course. We gotta prop each other up on
That's
the
right.
show.
You know it.
All right, more to do on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tire Monday on 1010X on 82.5 FM.
He was a cop and good at his job. Now he prowls the Badlands, an outlaw hunting outlaws, a bounty hunter, a renegade.
Rick Ballou. Evenings on 1010XL.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here of Helmets and Heels. It's the little things like a peach milkshake on a warm day that makes summer sweet. And now you can head to your local Chick-fil-A and enjoy a favorite summer treat again. Hand spun the old-fashioned way, this refreshing milkshake features Chick-fil-A ice cream and peaches. It's the perfect cold treat to enjoy outside on a warm day or with friends and family after dinner. And it's here for just a limited time, so swing by your local Chick-fil-A and treat yourself today.
It's a Helmets and Heels Big Chief Tire Monday.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
1010XL is the home of Gator Nation and the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. I'm Hacker, and we keep you connected with the University of Florida all year long. Get Gator Bites where you find podcasts.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. As temperatures warm up around us, ants come out in droves. And when they move into your home or business, it's unnerving. Terminix knows that ants add up fast, but Terminix subtracts them faster because living with ants isn't any fun. When ants show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with an ant problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Let's get the work done.
Training camp is here.
Up, quick feet.
1010XL's training camp coverage is backed by Roland Reach Plumbing and Green Acres Sporting Goods.
Let's go. Here we go. Let's go. It's live now. Let's go.
Upgrade her diamond ring this summer with no money down and 0 interest for 5 years. Don't miss this killer offer from Beards Diamonds. 5 years, 0 interest financing till the year 2030. Not just on engagement rings, also on earrings, bracelets, bands, colored gemstone jewelry. Buy now and pay nothing down and spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. So that $5,000 gift comes out to just $85 a month. Beards Diamonds is Jacksonville's locally owned source for exquisite jewelry. We can do things the big corporate jewelers can only dream of, like lowering interest rates all the way down to 0. All GIA certified diamonds are included in this. Rounds, princess cuts, ovals, pear shapes, cushion cuts, emerald cuts. Whether you get a $5,000 diamond or a $50,000 diamond, you can spread your payments over 5 whole years. Get the Beards Diamonds unbeatable price. Pay 0 down and spread your payments over 5 years. But hurry, this is a limited time offer that ends August 31st and will not be extended. Beards Diamonds, St. John's Town Center. Shop local. Shop Beards. Unapproved credits and restrictions apply. See store for details.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Kuhn Flowers. Earlier, the AP preseason top 25 poll was announced, including 2 teams from the Sunshine State. The Miami Hurricanes were ranked number 10, while the Florida Gators took the number 15 ranking, the first time they've cracked the top 25 in 4 years. UNF men's basketball season tickets are on sale now for the 2025-26 season on the UNF Ospreys Athletics website. It's 91 degrees at 2:59. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Baby, you a song. You make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise.
Hey, with all Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you as we jam out to a little Florida Georgia line and Nelly. That's a fun collab.
Yeah, that was.
From probably like over 10 years ago now. Probably
yeah,
actually like
for sure.
13 years ago now.
Yeah.
Crazy how time flies. All right, you just heard Max mention some of the teams in the AP Top 25 college football poll. I'll get it out, I promise. That was released earlier today. Not a lot of changes from the coaches poll. Number 1, Texas. Number 2, Penn State. Number 3, Ohio State. Number 4, Clemson. Number 5, Georgia. Taylor's team that was originally 5 in the coaches poll, now 6 in Notre Dame in the preseason AP Top 25 poll. And then you find Miami at
10.
Number 10 and Florida at number 15. So certainly the schools around here showing out well. I've got some updates when it comes to the college football quarterback competitions around the country. And Taylor, one of them involves your Fighting Irish. So do you want me to start with them?
Sure, let's go.
All right. So the 2 contenders, as we know, CJ Carr, Kenny Menchie. And, of course, Riley Leonard had a fantastic season, even though Notre Dame didn't win it all. Certainly, I would say he was a guy that played better than probably most people anticipated last year. So the answer is CJ Carr. They say, and this is USA Today Sports, maybe there's a package for Minchie in a supporting role, but Carr has the tools to balance out what should be a very strong running game and make Notre Dame even more dangerous. I think we've known it was probably going to be CJ Carr, who was a 5-star recruit. But it's good to know that there's been a little competition for Carr, you know, as far as pushing him.
Yeah, and that's what it kind of has seemed from the start. It was leaning towards CJ Carr, but there were everything I was hearing out of camp was it still is a very close battle. Which I think that's good. You have somebody behind him pushing a little bit, and that's going to be one of the biggest questions for Notre Dame this year. They have a lot of returning their offensive linemen for the most part. They did lose one of the main pieces to injury already, and so that kind of sucks. But a good offensive line, a still really good defense, but you have to see how it is without Al Golden, because he was a big part of also how kind of everything ticked last year, especially down the stretch. And so the quarterback and the defensive coordinator change are going to be the two major factors of this Notre Dame team, and you come out of the gates and you're playing Miami. So
Riley Leonard was a good running quarterback.
Yeah, he doesn't have the best arm, but
run.
he'll truck people too. So he was a very physical player.
Up? Is he a runner?
Carr is more of a pocket passer. Yeah, that's why there may be packages. For the other quarterback in Minchie. Yeah,
interesting. Well, I don't really like Notre Dame, to be honest with you at all. And I'm glad they didn't get any first place votes in the AP poll. Even though they're top 6. But obviously, I do like their coach. I think Marcus Freeman's a great coach. I like his demeanor. His players seem to like him. And, they should be pretty good again this year. We'll see.
All right, now we go to Knoxville.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Knoxville, Tennessee had probably the most drama, I would say, when it comes to the quarterback this year with everything that happened as far as Nico Iamaleava leaving. First asking for more money, being denied that offer, and then leaving. And so the 3 contenders in Tennessee, Joey Aguilar, George McIntyre, and Jake Merklinger. And drumroll, it's Aguilar. They do say he'll have to play cleaner football to get Tennessee 9 or more wins and keep the 2 younger passers on the sideline. Aguilar has had 850 attempts the past 2 seasons, so certainly he's the most experienced.
Yeah, I know you hate Tennessee, but I'm kind of rooting for the kid just because of everything that happened with Nico and the way, and we talk about Josh Heupel and how good he is when it comes to kind of being able to develop those quarterbacks and bring at least the best out of them.
Right. By the way, I saw, real quick, Taylor, I saw 2 of when it comes to preseason winners and losers, I saw 2 of the losers from this past weekend were Joe Milton III and Hendon Hooker.
Oh, yeah.
Both played at Tennessee.
And
Josh Heupel made them look good. So keep that in mind when you wonder if Tennessee can be good this season.
Yeah, and then, what if Nico sucks? People are going to say, how much was Josh Heupel a part of that, too? So I do think you have to credit him a lot. He knows how to build off of the strengths of the quarterbacks that are there. Yeah. But he did build this entire offense around Nico, expecting him to be there. So there was a quick shift in the way that they have to do things. But I'm rooting for Aguilar perfect.
I saw him a couple times last year play. He's pretty
Aguilar?
tough. Yeah, I think he's pretty tough quarterback overall. Just not a ton of times, but I think a couple times I saw him get some action.
Yeah.
I've always liked Josh Heupel. I think I might have played against him because he was at Tennessee. Wasn't he?
He was at Oklahoma.
Then I didn't play against him at all. Don't know who he is. No, I know who he is, obviously. But, Tennessee, look, I think it's always good for Tennessee to be, a strong football contender. I used to love those Tennessee and Georgia, those battles. Eric Zier, remember those old games? Tennessee, Bama, that used to be a great, rivalry. Still is, but, where Tennessee's, I think it's good for college football if Tennessee's at least competitive.
I saw Riley Green Friday night, Brian and I did, and one of his songs is Hell of a Way to Go, and he's talking about, whenever his grandfather passes away, and he's like, this would be a hell of a way to go, and it's like, whether he was fishing and then he said there's part of it that it would be
volunteer.
It would be watching Alabama whoop up on Tennessee, which is funny because Riley's an Auburn fan, not an Alabama fan, but he's from Alabama and I'm sure surrounded by Bama fans. But either way, that drew a lot of applause from the crowd on Friday night. I think if you watched App State football last year, you would have seen Joey Aguilar.
Yeah.
So
that's probably where you were seeing them.
Yep.
When you look at their schedule, because I just wanted to glance how it starts. So it's Syracuse, East Tennessee State, then they have Georgia, then UAB, then Mississippi State, Arkansas, then Alabama, Kentucky, Oklahoma. Florida, obviously, that second to last week, and then Vandy. So they have a pretty tough schedule. So Aguilar has some tests and probably until week 3, but you got Georgia week 3. So
And that's why you always wonder how long or short the leash is on these types of guys that do have guys, pushing them as far as backups go. For Alabama, we've got Austin Mack, Keelan Russell, and Ty Simpson. And even though the competition is ongoing, everyone believes it will be Ty Simpson, the fourth-year junior. He, of course, has more experience now in Kalen DeBoer's system. But, you have that game right off the rip with Florida State, Alabama, Florida State there in Tallahassee. And so whoever the starting quarterback's going to be, I'm not saying Florida State is as good as they were 2 years ago, but certainly it's a revamped football team, and Mike Norvell is going to put everything on the line to try and win that game.
Oh, yeah, and there's obviously some some confidence coming out of Castellanos.
False bravado. Whatever.
Yeah, I think that, it's with Alabama, it does kind of feel like I've heard a lot of Ty Simpson, and he's another one that kind of in the same as the Notre Dame conversation, where it does feel like maybe the competition was a little thicker than people expected it to be, but he's kind of been the name that you felt was going to be the one. And I think what we're seeing here is the experience side winning for a lot of the choices and I guess assumptions that the predictions of what quarterbacks will be starting.
I like that these two teams are going at it, the first game. I like that kind of thing. No disrespect to like Florida going to play Long Island. I know they got a tough schedule. But I do like out of the gate, because look, I think Alabama's going to roll them. I would expect them to, but you never know. Maybe you're right. Maybe Norvell's got more of the team 2 years ago than last year. Maybe they're tough. I'm not sold on the QB. I feel about him, but maybe if he uses them the right way, they make something happen. I'd be kind of surprised if they do.
Yeah,
I think Alabama's got
nobody knows, so we can't see anything at practice.
I think Bama's got a lot to prove this year. I think they're they want to get back into that big time running, and they're gonna, and the kid mouthed off, so they're gonna try to kill him. So I would. I'd put a bounty on his head. With all that NIL money, I'd be like, all right, listen, extra grand or whatever, take the QB out. Not the coach. I'm saying like player to player. You know what I mean?
His family's from Ware County, so we have to watch out.
I don't mean like listen. I always say this. I don't ever want to ruin someone's career, but I do like ruining their day.
I can understand.
Okay, so that's all I'm saying when you hit a quarterback and take him out. I don't want to ruin his career, but I want to ruin his day, so he's done for the day. So I'm sure Alabama will be happy to oblige if they get their hands on him. If they get their hands on him.
We know Alabama, whether it's Kalen DeBoer or certainly Nick Saban, his predecessor, Alabama always has tough, physical, and fast defensive players, whether it's the defensive front, whether it's the linebackers. They're always super talented. All right, Ohio State, 2 guys contending for the starting job. Lincoln Kienholz and Julian Sayin. Most people know the name Julian Sayin. Lincoln Kienholz, though, they say the competition is tighter in Columbus, Ohio, than even in Tuscaloosa.
Wow.
So they do believe it will be Julian Sayin, though.
Okay. That one is going to be interesting because I think that when you talk about Ohio State and the weapons that they've continuously put out, especially as of lately.
Yeah, Jeremiah Smith is a badass.
Yeah, and that helps. That helps any quarterback having a guy like that out on the field to be able to kind of ease things in a little bit. But they start off with Texas, right? So they have a test right away out of the gates, too. So you would want that quarterback. You probably want to make that quarterback decision sooner rather than later to have him ready for week 1
same for Alabama,
Texas.
by the way. Sorry, Taylor. Yeah, as far as Ryan Williams being able to help that quarterback.
Now, Ohio State's running game, I know they lost a kid to, who had the 100-yard.
They lost both running backs.
They won both of them.
And Travion Henderson.
So they got some studs coming back up underneath
I'm sure
them.
they usually do.
They normally restock them. Did you see the kid run the opening kickoff 100 yards?
Marion Hampton?
No, from the Pats.
Travion Henderson.
From Ohio State. That was pretty impressive.
He's quick.
I liked him, man. I liked him coming out of college a lot.
There's a lot of good backs in this. It's going to be fun to watch all of the backs that came out of this draft because there was a lot of them that were, and it was opposite. The year before, they were like, there's no backs, but then Bucky Irving had the season he did. This year, it's all of these running backs that people are talking about. So it'll be interesting to see how many of them really are, right away making plays like that, like you saw from Henderson.
Right, because Ashton Genty didn't have necessarily a great performance his first time out. To answer your question, Tom, the 3 running backs that are listed as far as 1, 2, 3 on the depth chart: James Peoples, who's a sophomore, CJ Donaldson, who's a transfer, and Bo Jackson, who is a freshman.
Bo Jackson.
Yeah, I don't think you can name your kid Bo Jackson as a running back.
That's a bold.
I mean, I feel like we would know that.
Let's name him Bo. No.
So Bo Jackson at Ohio
That's bold
State.
to do, actually.
Well, maybe it's B-E-A-U.
It's B-O.
It's B-O.
Yeah, not the
Wow.
smelly B-O either.
Not the smelly.
He's 6 feet, 210 pounds. He's from Cleveland, Ohio. He was a
Okay.
4-star recruit. I cannot confirm or deny if he is related to Bo Jackson, though.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Bo's from the South. I mean, he might have
Right.
traveled up to Ohio for a time or two. You never know.
I feel like that would be in his bio, and I don't see it. So there you go. There are some quarterback competitions that you can continue to monitor as fall camp continues. We've got more Jaguars to discuss on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tire Monday. Find them online at WeKeepJacksRollin.com. It's 1010X on 92.5 FM.
He tackles talk radio like a middle linebacker in the gap.
I tell it like I see it, and I see it like a middle linebacker.
Tommy Mack. Fridays on Jaguars Today. Unsealed by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Big number one Duval Ford is trusted by Duval families, Duval businesses, and law enforcement across Florida. We're Jacksonville's largest Ford dealer by new Ford sales with the biggest service facility to keep everything in your driveway and in your fleet on the road. Shop Big number one Duval Ford on Cassett Avenue for our low prices and nationally recognized service first experience. Big number one Duval Ford, proudly serving North Florida since 1916.
Helmets and Heels. It's a Big Chief Tire Monday. The local Jacksonville shop for fair prices and service you can trust.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through August 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. Go inside your home team's locker room with Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline.
Check out my blog at 1010XL.com.
So you can catch all the news and nuggets you need to know.
My blog is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing,
where quality and experience count.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bow 9 Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Bow 9 Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
Big Chief Tire is always looking for ways to better serve the Jacksonville community we call home. Frank Frangie here. Starting Monday, June 16th, they're opening their 6th shop location in Mandarin, providing more Jacksonville residents with a locally owned auto repair business they can trust. Visit the new shop on San Jose Boulevard today for all your vehicle needs, including brake repair, new tires, and more. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment today.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione Law.
The Edwin Watts Golf Hour will meet you at the green.
Blue skies, fresh cut grass, birds chirping.
The Edwin Watts Golf Hour.
Grip it and rip it.
Get tips, tour notes, and the latest gear Saturday mornings at 10 on 1010XL.
If your house feels like a Florida swamp and your thermostat's just throwing out suggestions, then it's time to call Duck Duck Air Conditioning.
They showed up fast, fixed it right, and even cleaned up after. My house is finally chill, and so am I.
Whether your AC needs a quick fix, a full replacement, or just a little TLC, Duck Duck Air Conditioning has got you covered with fast and honest service. Call 904-862-6769 to get your cool back, or online at duckduckac.com. When your AC is stuck, call the Duck.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then, strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Football season is back, baby. Hicken here, and I know I'm excited to get back to watching some ball over the weekend. But with the fun comes responsibility. Taking care of your skin while outside, extremely important. We know it feels like 100 out there, and that sun is blazing. Make sure you bring the screen while loading up all that tailgate. It's simple. Protect your skin. It's the Sunshine State. To help you protect your skin, Beaches Dermatology is here. I've been going to them for years, and my skin thanks me for it. Book your appointment today at beachesdermatology.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Tom McManus, Taylor Dahl, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you on this Big Chief Tire Monday, reacting to all things Steelers Jaguars from Saturday night. And I told y'all earlier, I appreciate Liam Cohen saying when he sees something that's an issue, he is not afraid to discuss it. And when he said he did not think he called a good play call for Trevor to throw the ball to Brian Thomas Jr., that was on him and he'll do better moving forward. I thought that was refreshing.
Yeah.
I also think
accountability.
Exactly. Accountability. Absolutely. And I also think we talked about the penalties. You mentioned, Taylor, 8 penalties. That's not something you ever want to see, certainly in a preseason or regular season game by any means. And so I also thought it was refreshing that today at practice, that's what they went ahead and worked on, is getting to the line, getting the call made, lining up properly. And I saw a couple times Trevor, when it came to his receivers in motion, like he was the one saying, pointing to them to move and things like that, waving them. So like he is fully in command of this playbook, even more than the receivers are, like with the motions. And so that's all at least good to me. Again, there's a lot of negative to take away. I get that. But I'm trying to at least look at this from the perspective of we have a whole new staff, and maybe the defensive side of things didn't go well, but I appreciate Liam Cohen as a head coach so far.
Yeah, and I think that this is something we've talked about it. Liam Cohen's learning too. He's learning how to be a head coach, and so there's a lot of things that are factoring into that. You never want, one of the most frustrating things to see is when you have too many men on the field. And like, even when they, on the broadcast, they like zoomed into Liam Cohen's face on that, and he was not happy. Like, you could tell in that moment, he was at first confused. Then you could see when he figured out what the call was, when they told him, you could tell. Those are the things that you don't want. That's when that's sloppy. And those are the things that you don't want to see. It's first preseason game. Let it happen now. Learn from these. And then now they were able to take that to camp today and work on those things. But those are the things that are, to me, are some of the most frustrating, that like when you got 12 guys on the field.
Yeah, well, that kind of stuff happened a lot last year. You know, they'd have a good drive going. There'd be a legal formation. There'll be a legal motion. There'll be 2 guys moving. You know what I mean? It was like you'd line off up sides. Remember when Eric lined up twice off sides and they didn't do anything? Like, he just was like, oh, whatever. You know, you're like, what the heck is that? So we've been hoping for accountability for this team. They desperately needed it, and I think Liam Cohen is doing it. I like the way he coaches. I like his style for the most part. You know, him saying he called the wrong play. Okay, I get it. So he probably thought the back safety was going to be there, and he probably shouldn't have called that route. No problem. You know, I mean, I don't think it's, no
problem unless BTJ had been concussed.
Yeah.
Well, he could have thrown it more, more different. He didn't have to. I mean, he let him a tiny bit, but I think the safety just made a great play.
Yeah, a lot of people were critiquing Trevor on that.
Hospital.
Hospital.
No,
ball.
it wasn't. I don't think it was.
I didn't think.
He let him a tiny bit, but you're supposed to lead him a tiny bit. I doubt he probably saw the safety, but whatever. That was the play call. You're gonna get hit. Yeah. I mean, it happens. No matter what play call you. So
the safety did his job. Like, that's
he did. That was great. Listen, he had a great read. Yeah. He had a beat on that ball, and he met with some good violence. So I'm glad. And Brian Thomas is tough as nails. He just gets right up like it was nothing. So that's a great sign. But yeah, that's cool. Cohen, going to bat for his guy. I don't know. I know Doug. A lot of times.
It's better than how Doug treated Trevor.
Yeah, I don't know. It always takes 2 to tango. You know what I'm saying? So we'll just move on and move forward. But I do like Liam, and I do like accountability, and I think he's bringing that to the table for sure.
I also liked his in-game decisions. Like, I loved that he called the timeout with 1 second left on the clock, and then later he ended up in the fourth quarter too. Towards the end of the game, he was able to get his timeouts called and use those to at least try to advance the ball, even though they ended up not being able to score a touchdown there. All right, so today, Jaguars were back on the field for practice. They were not in pads, but they did do, like I said, a lot of walkthrough, I should say, type of stuff. Liam Cohen was asked what he wanted to accomplish in today's practice.
Alignment, assignment, getting our cleats in the ground when we have a call. on both sides of the ball. Fundamentals. We did a 40-play alignment assignment period of just getting the call, getting our cleats in the ground, making loud guttural communication, getting the calls in quickly. That was what we were really kind of focusing on from an emphasis standpoint. Obviously, some of these guys are going to be a little bit sore that played a lot of snaps in the game, so we were trying to really hone in on the mind, got conditioning out of it kind of as well. So that was kind of the thought of today.
When I hear the word guttural, I immediately think of an animal.
I don't know
the
what
guttural
that means.
sound. It's typically, I think it normally is describing an animal, and it's a very like deep kind of like booming type of thing.
Okay. Yeah, I did not know that word. So, but yeah, I think that when we're talking about Liam Cohen, this is good. These are the things that you take out of preseason games. And when people are like, "Oh, preseason means nothing," this is what it means. These are what it's for. We've talked about the fundamentals and getting those things kind of fixed, because last year a lot of those issues were things that would cause games. To your point, Tommy, the killing of momentum when you go backwards, and you can't keep doing that. So I love that he focused on that today, because I think that's something you've got to get that part right before you can really start to figure everything else out.
Were the wide receivers not getting set? Is that with the grass
Sounded
in the ground?
like it.
The
Yeah, he
cleats
said
in
his
the
cleats
grass.
in the ground. That's what I'm wondering.
Are they moving around? They're staying. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder. I guess so. Maybe
He
they
must
didn't
have
like
been seeing that. Yeah.
So he must have been pretty ticked off if they had to do a 40-play thing, because
Yeah,
he's
I was
like,
ticked off
listen.
because I was standing out there for all of
we
it.
got to. Well, you know what? They got to. Obviously, they got to get it right. Like, you can't have those mistakes, and that is refreshing, because I never understood. And for the record, I blame coaches, I blame players too, but I never understood all the mistakes continuously being made, and there was no accountability. And again, I don't care what level of ball we're talking. I don't care who we're talking about. You got to have that accountability factor.
Yeah.
And they're going back to the basics with it, which is fantastic. And he did it from the beginning. Remember, he did. He talked about Trevor's footwork in the beginning. He talked about Anton. He talked about Tootin putting the ball on the ground. He's not afraid to say, and you can tell the way he answers about Eric. He's not happy.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him. I wouldn't
no
be
update on
happy
it.
either. There's no update. So he wears his heart on his sleeve, and there's nothing wrong with that, right?
And I
So,
think it's easier for the
I'm
guys to
happy for him.
connect to him when he's like that too,
Yeah.
right? Like no BS, just call it like you see it.
Yeah. And you like to see him address it, because I feel like there's been, especially the last couple seasons, where you're in week 15, 16, and you're asking why the same mistakes are still being made. And he's trying to get all of that taken care of right now, because and we talk about the accountability side of stuff. The former coaching regime did not have that a lot of times. And it was just that bleeds into everything that happened on the field. And that's why the games, at the end of the games, any close game, they lost, because nobody was taking accountability for anything that was happening. And Liam Cohen right now is already saying, no, this isn't going to work. We're not playing this type of football. We're not making mistakes.
And look, they gutted the team for a reason.
Yeah.
And they said, what? We want guys that love football. So the guys that they kept fit the bill. The guys that they released didn't. And they took a lot out of that roster from last year. So, look, so far, so good. We're in the honeymoon phase still. You know what I
Are
mean?
we? I don't know. I feel like after Saturday night, we're no longer in the honeymoon phase.
No,
and
he's
and
all
we've
right.
now reached the point of the marriage between the fans and the team where they are screaming.
Yeah,
and
the text
they're
line
coming
is up. There's several people have already been
See,
there.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I unfortunately. All right, since Taylor mentioned the defense on Saturday night, Liam Cohen was asked today about the communication errors that he saw on that side of the ball.
It was disappointing to see some of the communication errors that we did have, but also just, alignment, assignment issues. We have new systems on both sides of the ball. It's going to probably take a little bit more than a preseason game to maybe correct some of the things that we wanted to get corrected and play as sound as we would like to play. But I was proud of a couple moments, specifically the fourth down stop when we score a couple plays later on, which was a huge play in the game. And then at the end of the game, when you needed to get a stop in 4 minutes, they stopped the run 3 times in a row, force a punt, and give us a chance to go win the game. So when it mattered, there was some nice plays, some good effort all around, but we need to get some of that stuff fixed.
The alignment assignment. He said that on both sides of the ball, so clearly that was something that bothered him a lot from that game.
Yeah, you could see. I mean, there was a couple times even Devin Lloyd being, not being on his guy in coverage. They got beat down the seam a few times. Savage got beat the one time. It's just recognition. I will say, so I was trying to rewind and pause different coverages that they were doing. I know the touchdown to the tight end from Georgia, whatever, I forget it, number 8, Washington. Thank you.
Huge.
Yeah.
So it looked like they were like cover 4 underneath with cover 3 in the back. And that could be confusing to guys. So what he's saying is like it's going to take more than one game to figure this out, because if that's the case, then certain routes will react differently to the defense that we will react differently to those routes. So it could be something to get used to. He should have never been that open. I mean, he was down the seam open. Alukin's got to get deeper. The safety can't bite so hard on that it wasn't a fake, but a look. And he looked him off. And then Tyson could squeeze a little bit tighter, but that's just going over it and being comfortable with the call. Look, that coverage can be confusing from time to time, The thing that I think you can simplify, and I don't think they're doing yet, when you're in zone, you have the guy that comes into your zone. You may have to switch if another guy comes in too, but whoever, for that second or whatever, he's your man. So just sitting in zone you're not doing it right. Like, guy comes into your zone, you go to him, right? Now you got to have peripheral. You got to see where the other routes are. So you don't want anyone coming in behind you where you're jumping low and they come in behind you. But you just don't stand there and wait for them to throw the ball and then go make a play. So they'll clean that up. But, what's that?
That anticipation, being able to do that side of it.
Yeah,
and it's communication, too. Like, I thought Travis Hunter did a good job in zone on Saturday.
Yeah, he did. He was very sticky. He knew where look, again, it comes more natural, I think, for him to do that. But that's what Liam's saying. It's like, these are new systems, and we got to get them worked out. That's why they did what they did today. Because now tomorrow, full pads, there'll be no talking. Now it's like, hey, we did our teaching on the field yesterday. Retain it. Now go perform tomorrow. And by the way, Thursday we're gonna have a scrimmage as well, and we're not gonna stop so you can, so we could teach you these things. We don't have time for that.
Yeah, and based off of the fact that they do have a scrimmage on Thursday, asked after practice about whether the starters will play or how long they'll play against the Saints this weekend. Liam Cohen was like, "Yeah, I don't know yet." And so I do think,
depending on that,
if you're looking to see more of the live action type stuff, certainly Tuesday, tomorrow, and then Thursday as well. I think one of the things for me in the preseason is, as much as I hate it, but trying to see which rookies are able to look like they're not lost out there, right? Because it is their very first action in the NFL as far as a game is concerned. And I thought several of the rookies looked good. I'm sad that Caleb Bransaw is still not out there,
Me too.
because I do feel like we would have a really good opinion of him based off of what the coaches, I think, saw before he was injured. But I thought Jack Kaiser looked good. To your point earlier, Tom, Wyatt Milam I thought looked good. Bashal Tootin looked good. LaQuint Allen looked good. I thought there was a good mix of the rookies in there. And today at practice, by the way, the defense, red zone wise, the defense definitely had another good day. So yet again, like we said, what you've seen in training camp looks a little different than what we saw against the Steelers.
But for the record, a good day, which means they probably penetrated the line. They're not in pads, so the line's back to letting them win, not letting them win, but they're gonna win.
Yeah.
They're gonna win without pads. The D line beats the O line. It just happens, you know. So I don't know how much I put into that, but tomorrow when it's got more, be
the
more
secondary
fire.
looked great today.
Yeah, right.
Again, opposite of what we saw Saturday night. All right, we've got more to do on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tire Monday on 1010X on 92.5 FM.
It's a Big Chief Tire Monday on Helmets and Heels.
Florida Heat hitting like a heavyweight? Time to call in the champ. KO Electric and HVAC. We knock out the heat and power up your comfort. Fast, reliable, and undefeated in home service. KOElectricJacks.com. KOElectricJacks.com.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here. You've heard me talking about Pella Windows and Doors. With great ratings and expert reviews, you know they're high quality and energy efficient products. So what's your next step? Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or just stop by the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. Their professional design consultants will guide you through your entire project from start to finish. And that's the quality and service you can expect from Pella Windows and Doors.
Hard to believe, but kids are back in school. Lauren Brooks here. Now is a great time for Closets by Design to come to your house and create custom storage solutions for your closets, garages, laundry rooms, and entertainment centers. They're going to lend their organizational expertise to our closets and laundry rooms soon. So call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and receive 40% off, plus an additional 15% off with free installation this month only. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
At Hurricane Grill and Wings, the wings are fresh, the drinks are cold, and the game is always on. With 30 bold flavors, ice-cold beer, and handcrafted cocktails, there's no better place to kick back and catch every play. Escape the ordinary. Your home for sports is Hurricane Grill and Wings.
What does the logo on the Pittsburgh Steelers helmet signify? The answer next.
When you file a claim with Southern Oak Insurance, we schedule one of our trusted vendors to work directly with you, which means a faster claim resolution. Find out more at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The logo on the Steelers helmet represents the steel industry. It's the only NFL team with the logo on just one side.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Yo, E.T. here, and I need you to beat the heat this summer with cool escapes and non-stop fun in Clay County. Tackle indoor adventures head on. Throw axes at Live by Axe or smash your stress away at Just Smash That. Then kick back with drinks, good food, and fandom vibes at Nakama Anime Bar or Leaderboard Arcade and Bar. Whether you're blowing off steam or just looking to chill, Clay County got your perfect indoor getaway. Find your cool at exploreclay.com. That's exploreclay.com.
I've been having knee problems for probably 6 months, and my knee was getting worse, and I had heard about Southeast Orthopedics on the radio, and I gave them a call. They got me right in. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. It was painless, and it's been doing fantastic. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
I'm Frank Frangie, and you've heard me tell you how much success my daughter Amber is having with the Awaken 180 weight loss program. But Amber, maybe it's time you should tell them.
I think they'd rather hear from you, Dad. You're the radio guy.
Yeah, but in this case, you're the one doing all the work.
But that's the thing, Dad. It doesn't feel like work. The food is great. I never feel hungry. My coach, Mary, is so good, so encouraging. If you follow the plan, Awaken 180 really works.
Well, everyone I know that's tried it has said the same thing. The result is people not only look better, but they feel better. I've kind of known you your whole life, and I can tell you feel great.
I feel better than I have in years. I love that part. I feel so good. I have Awaken 180 to thank for that.
So you heard it from my kid, and you can feel great too. Just call 1-844-346-1800. That's 1-844-346-1800, or visit awaken180weightloss.com and start your transformation today.
XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
By the way, the actual definition of the word guttural, Liam Cohen used it earlier in case you missed it. Produced in the speech sounds, produced in the throat, harsh sounding. So again, like when I think of guttural, I think it's always attached to an animal and probably like not a lion roaring, but if a lion, was in pain or something like that, like I would describe that as like the lion was making guttural sounds.
Okay. Huh. Learn something new every day.
Right? Yeah, Liam Cohen used that earlier when he was talking about getting the line. And I do think Trevor does a really good job as far as his deep voice when he's at the line getting those play calls out. I think he does a good job there.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it just made me think of back in February or whatever it was, one of the press conferences that Liam Cohen had, and he said he's used the word savages. I'm still waiting to see savages. I'm still waiting, and I was so excited about that. It's early, I know, but I was so pumped to feel like we were gonna have that physical, like ferocious, and I just don't see that yet. And so hopefully that's something that comes along. Special teams wise, yes, and you want to see that defensively from top to bottom. And it's unfortunate. You talked about Caleb Branson not being out there, Monteric, Buster Brown not being out there, Eric Armstead, Mason Smith. So they're missing pieces that you were counting on being maybe some of those guys, but still.
I thought Antonio Johnson was physical against the run.
He's been really fun to watch.
Yeah, he came up a couple times and had some good plays. And I know Farwell was raving about him as a gunner and could fill in there. So I think he's had a pretty good camp. I think he deserves a little more run. That's what you're trying to figure out. Like, you may have your 50, like Liam says, I got my 50 so far, but you're still figuring out some starting positions, and some guys deserve more run the way they're playing. Like Wyatt Milam, to me, deserves a little run with the ones. I don't care where you put him, left tackle, right tackle, whatever. Doesn't mean he's going to take anything over. Maybe he will, though. You know what I
But
mean?
it's
Maybe it's like,
interesting
yeah, maybe this kid can do it.
In practice, we haven't been as impressed with Wyatt Millam as I thought we would be, but certainly Saturday night. I mean, he got praise from the head coach,
Yeah,
too.
he's aggressive.
So, yeah, I wonder.
Maybe it's one of those guys that he's one of the ones when the lights turn on.
You know what? I was talking about him earlier. I did a little podcast from home. You know what I really like about his stance when he gets back in his kick? Well, look at his body. It's like his upper body's almost like in a hitting position, you know, not straight up and down. It's like, okay, I'm ready for you to, like, he's just in great balance, great position, and then he's vicious with his movement, so, or at least very aggressive. Vicious might be a little strong just yet, but I like what I see, and I do think he deserves a little more action.
So the starting line Saturday night: Walker Little, Ezra Cleveland, Robert Hainsey, Chuma Adoga, Anton Harrison.
Yep.
There were no surprises to me, and watching, we knew Patrick McCarry was not going to play, and so in watching them warm up, you could tell that was going to be the starting five. Now with Anton Harrison out for today for an excused absence for personal reasons, Patrick McCarry was the right tackle. I wonder, yet to your point, Tom, like as far as Wyatt Millam, where would they plug him in? I think Robert Hainsey is going to be the center regardless.
Yeah.
And it seems like Ezra Cleveland has won the left guard job. But yeah, can they plug in Wyatt Millam in other places? And we know he's got certainly versatility. He's played guard and he's played tackle through
and
camp.
McCary is now too, right?
Yes, McCary I think has played all 5 positions in the NFL. Not just at the college level. So that's interesting. And then defensively, the starters on the interior were Devon Hamilton and Tyler Lacey, and then of course the edges, no surprise there. Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker. I did think it was interesting. Dwan Smoot and Yasir Abdullah were the first subs in when it came to the defense and that up front. But yeah, overall, we've given our thoughts. It was less than a stellar performance by the defense. The offense was barely out there for what we saw. For the most part, it looked efficient. Nothing crazy play call wise, and then the special teams continue to be the best part of this team for sure.
Yeah, I want to see more of the running game that we've been seeing in practice. You know, that was a little not disappointing. I just thought they would maybe lean on that a little bit more. I mean, obviously, you want to get into your passing attack and get everyone comfortable and get Trevor. Again, I'll tell you, the pass to Strange was his best play, in my opinion, just because the read from 1 to the right, then come over the middle of the 2, and the quickness, and he got that ball out once he decided to go to Brenton Strange, and where he put it was perfect. I mean, it really was a great, and it looked so natural and smooth. He even flipped his hips. Remember, he thought it's like crazy, like, of course you got to flip your hair, but he did. He flipped his hips and he put it right on him. But I'd like you got to see where you're at with the running game, and even with your line, like you didn't run it enough to really say, okay, I feel good about my offensive line running the football. You know what I mean? You got to see a little bit more of that.
Yeah, people who have been listening to us the last few weeks were probably like, they've been lying about everything because everything we've been saying from camp. When if you would have told me it was going to be 273 passing yards to 66 rushing yards, I wouldn't have believed you. I would have thought we would have run the ball more, honestly.
Yeah, and again,
especially with the running back competition we have going on right now. You want to see your back so you know who that RB1 will be week 1, and now we still don't know.
Yeah, 38 didn't even get in.
Yeah.
He didn't
so
get a
remember
carry.
we talked about that on Friday, and I posed the question, like, I wonder if they're going to kind of hide him because they like him and they can't, I don't think, keep 5 running backs on the 53-man roster. And so when he didn't go in for a long time, I was like, is that what they're doing?
I don't know. But how about this? I mean, Bigsby's been number 1 all at camp, but who was number 1 Saturday night? It was ETN.
Yeah. I think we're going to see through the first month. I would not be surprised if it's Bigsby one week, ETN the next week, maybe even Tootin the week after.
I will tell you what, I love the screen to ETN. He's great in the open space.
So it's like, give me that.
And Adoga had a great block. And Cleveland led the way, and Travis Hunter was blocking downfield. Man, I noticed that, and I was like, all right, this kid, he knows what he's doing there. But that was a great call, and we've seen that in camp. They're working on those kind of screens. They do the quick screen to the receiver, but they've been working on the running back screens. And I tell you, if you can catch them when they're in zone, especially if they're in man, you just got to pick up the guy who has the back. Because as a former linebacker, and I got man, and I see that back hop and then do that little thing, I'm like, I'm going right to him. So you got to make sure you take care of that guy. But those screens can be very, very effective.
It's fun seeing successful screens.
Right. We saw that with the Bucks a lot last year.
Yeah.
And so assuming that he was going
they did
to bring
it the
this
most
here.
in the league.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We know that these guys, to the running backs, have good hands. The fumbling issue side, I mean, as far as pass catching.
Yeah.
All these guys, I think, can certainly be an asset in the pass catching game. You're shaking your head no.
Tank should have had the one.
Yeah,
It was a tough one. He had to turn his body, but, man, you got to catch up. Bro.
I thought that was a bad pass. All right, time now for today's Terminix Pest of the Day. As always, brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. That's TERMINIX.com. I was at Veterans Memorial Arena. I cannot talk today. ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena on Friday night, like I said, to see Riley Green, Ella Langley, and Drake White. They had no pests, so that is good news. That
You
means
see
Terminix,
roaches?
Yeah, I did not see any roaches.
Not that kind,
any
anyway.
ants. I did not see any pests, so that means Terminix is doing their job. They take care of Everbank Stadium. I was there Saturday night, no issues there either, although certainly lots of construction. And then they take care of our house as well. They can do the same for you. Visit them online at Terminix.com. So I'm sure y'all saw this video if you weren't watching live. CeeDee Lamb standing,
Oh, my goodness.
standing in an area
Whiplash.
that he should not be standing, that is intended for the referees to be able to monitor the sidelines. So yes, he gets tackled by a ref on accident. Not really tackled, but he gets hit by a ref on accident. And then he got the 15-yard penalty on top of that because he was somewhere he's not supposed to be. We go to camp practices all the time. There are certain areas they do not want you to stand today. Even in red zone, they made all of us move back from where we normally stand along the line, all the way with our backs against the wall, because they want to make sure they're not, we're not injuring the players and the players aren't injuring us.
Yep.
And so that ref, it could have been bad for
Very
CD,
bad.
and it also
And
could have
the
been
ref.
bad for the ref.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So
Yep.
please pay attention to what you're supposed to be.
I watched that video like 40 times. I couldn't stop
watched it a
watching
few
it. It
times,
was his head like jerks back so hard. I was like, okay, CD. But yeah, well, could you imagine if he gets hit, he gets a penalty, and then would have gotten hurt? If that would have happened, people would have been like,
bad. That's why they have a coach that keeps everybody off the sideline, right? And I can't stand that coach. I would hate for someone to be pulling on my belt. Like, I'd be like, listen, you better let go of me right now, okay? I got to get out here. You can't go. But that's the reason why, because you get run over, and that's a dangerous thing, man.
For sure.
I'm glad CD didn't get hurt, nor the ref, but that could have been bad.
I also saw the video of the NASCAR driver that
fell.
Yeah, was getting out to celebrate right after winning.
Oh,
And then
he knocked himself out.
And then ended up with a broken collarbone. That could have been way worse.
Lucky. I thought he broke his neck.
That's what watching the video the first time, I didn't know what I think Chase Zielinski, I think is his name, something along those lines. Either way, glad he's okay outside of that broken
Poor guy.
car.
He was just trying to celebrate. I know.
But I was wondering, how normally when the driver gets out of the car, there's people everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
And nobody was around. So I was like, is this guy like rude to his team
Yeah,
or
nobody
nobody
likes
or something? Because
That had to hurt.
somebody could have been able to catch him, I felt like. But
Yeah.
either way, we've got one segment to go. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tire Monday on 10 to Next on 92.5 FM.
It's a Big Chief Tire Monday. The local Jacksonville shop for fair prices and service you can trust. Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL, brought to you by San Jose Collision.
Well, now that it's August, football season is right on the horizon as the Gators have a game this month. They'll open up the season Saturday, August 30th in the Swamp at 7 p.m. against Long Island. DJ Lagway has dealt with injuries throughout the offseason, and after being sidelined to start fall camp with a calf injury, he's finally in pads and throwing, getting ready for their return to the gridiron in just a few weeks.
Now this is how you end a summer. Under the lights, surrounded by history. The driver's last shot at the playoffs. Your last chance to see regular season action. Friday night, Xfinity lights the fuse. Saturday night, the Cup Series delivers the fireworks. This is Daytona. This is everything. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 22nd and 23rd. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnik Chevrolet is proud to be a 7-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnik's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit NimnikChevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnik has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right. Where do you go? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnik. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
When the heat is on and we need a show we really care, do it with a floral arrangement from Kuhn Flowers. This is Dylan Denmark. Let's make their day better than yesterday. Online at KuhnFlowers.com since 1947.
Frank Frangie here. here for Coyle & Son Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports memories. Remember the 2017 AFC Championship game when Miles Jack wasn't down? Do you know what else isn't down? Fences installed by Coyle & Sons. Their fences have been standing tall here in Jacksonville for nearly a century. If you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821 or visit CoyleJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com. CoyleJacks.com.
Tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now. It's Renewal by Anderson's Triple Savings Month. Get $300 off windows and $825 off patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires August 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, I've heard you talk about the quality philosophy of Underwood's. Just what is that?
Frank, simply stated, the Underwood quality philosophy is fine jewelry and gifts will bring customers back and create new customers through the endorsements given to Underwood's by our satisfied customers. However, it's our definition of quality that's really been the Underwood difference, because quality has to go beyond materials and craftsmanship and has to include things like design, how it's presented, our service, our integrity, a customer's experience in our store, and the satisfaction a customer feels when they've chosen a special gift from Underwood's. A person or a company earns a reputation over a long period of time. And in Underwood's, we know that you earn your reputation every day, because that good reputation can be lost in a matter of days if you're not committed to doing the right thing for the long term.
That's Underwood, serving excellence in North Florida since 1928 in San Marco, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning.
Scheduling was easy, and the tech showed up right on time.
From plumbing and septic to air conditioning, we do it all. Call 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
Back to school time.
Happy first day of school, everybody.
That's right.
We heard it's a little chaotic. Somebody on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures, texted in saying, thanks for entertaining us while we sat in a car line for the last hour. First day chaos. Chris from Beachside. Definitely not ideal when you're
I
sitting
remember those days. I don't have to do it anymore. My youngest drove today.
Youngest, that's exciting. Though.
First day of high school, but she can drive?
She's a junior.
Yeah, I was
she's
gonna say,
a
not
junior.
a freshman.
First, she's a junior. So her and her friend Ella are carpooling. So they're. It was me and her dad carpooling for a couple of years. That's a haul into Douglas Anderson from the beach in the morning and then back. So
I know that.
Nice sigh of relief. I did have a little negotiation last night. I was kidding with my youngest, Harley. I said, all right, I'm done making lunch. And she's like, Dad, no, you got to make me my lunch. I'm like, you're like 16, you're like almost 17 now. Yeah, but I'm really busy. I got a lot of stuff to do. I don't want to spend time. I'm like, you know what? You're driving. I'll be more than happy to make your lunch. So
that was very sweet.
It's listen, peanut butter. No, this is daily. It's not just today. Peanut butter and jelly. I make a great peanut butter and jelly. And
you got to get that ratio of peanut butter to jelly right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's one of my favorite little snacks.
Oh, yeah. My parents got me a car my junior year also. I wasn't old enough to drive freshman or sophomore year. And my mom followed me. She was not...
That's
real sure about my driving skills. She followed me.
You knew she was following
Absolutely,
you?
yeah. From Atlantic Beach all the way to Bishop Kenny.
Yeah. That is so
Every day for the first, I can't remember if it was a week or 2 weeks, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Just because, like you said, it's a long drive.
It's a long drive.
And it's busy out there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to my grandparents because I was so scared to. I didn't get my license until I was almost 19. I was so scared to drive. And so my grandpa would drive me every morning at this time. They lived off University and he would drive me to Mandarin every single morning, would come pick me up from there. And he was like, you've got to get a car. Like, you've got to get your license. And I'm like, I know. I've got it. So I finally did it, but just in time for college.
I was driving at 14, man. I was like,
that's what my brother was too. I was so scared. I wouldn't drive now if I didn't. I would never drive.
Taylor would
again
have a
if I hate
chauffeur
driving.
if she could.
Really?
So if you want to drive me around, Tommy.
Home, James.
If you want to pick me up on the way to work.
By the way,
the opposite of driving Miss Daisy. I'd be the old one, you know?
I have a fun college football stat for you since we talked earlier about the preseason AP Top 25 being released today. In 19 of the past 21 seasons, the national champion was ranked among the AP preseason's top 7 teams. So
really?
19 out of the last 21 years. So I'll remind you who's in the top 7.
Yep.
Texas, Penn State, Ohio State, Clemson, Georgia, Notre Dame, and Oregon.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting. LSU's 9, and I agree with Brian Kelly. He can't recruit there. It's too hard for him. He can't get enough of them. I did see that, though. I did see the top 7, yeah.
So
Interesting.
It is interesting. Yeah, like we said, 2 of those teams were in the national championship last year.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't normally see, outside of a couple years when we had like Clemson, Alabama kind of repeat, normally you don't see a lot of repeat teams.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Alabama's just on the outside at 8. And obviously, like 2 of those years, like I said, 19 out of the last 21 years, it's been this.
They
But 2
weren't
of those
that
years,
7,
it was outside of the top 7. So, yeah, maybe it's an Alabama at 8 and LSU at 9.
No.
South Carolina at 13. South Carolina at 13. Michigan at 14.
Yeah. Do you, because we've talked so much about the college quarterbacks and there's the returning ones, obviously Garrett Nussmeier, Cade Klubnik, those are the ones that
Drew
we're going to,
Aller.
Drew Aller, the 3 that you're really going to be talking about. And so it does feel like if you're just basing it simply off of quarterback, that those 3 teams seem to make the most sense just because you know what you have in the quarterback world. But then you look at some of those other teams and we talk about the weapons that Ohio State has and Alabama has and Notre Dame has and some of those other schools that is what starts to shift, but the quarterback is just such a question for some of those teams.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But that's what's great about college ball because you can build a great line, you can have a great running game, and you need to have a good quarterback. There's no doubt. But if you can have those other things, receivers too, that can make and break it. Take one slant for 80 yards. It's not a great throw, but at least you got it to him and you take off. So, but you got to have at least a serviceable QB. That's for sure.
Well, this guy is more than serviceable.
Hey.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hayes, were you disappointed with what you saw from the defense Saturday night, or is that too strong?
No, I think it's fair. I mean, look, the head coach is disappointed. So, no, I think it's very fair when the Pittsburgh Steelers come in and look like the fun and gun from the 1990s.
Look like Big Ben out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's it's concerning or disappointing. It's not obviously we can't make any sort of final verdict, but yeah, it wasn't a good first outing. So they've got lots to work on, and today was really interesting because it almost seemed like, it was the lightest practice for a training camp practice that I think I've ever seen.
Wow.
And it was almost like Liam Cohen was like, all right, I'm taking you guys back to square one.
Yeah, alignment assignment.
Today.
Yeah.
We're going back to day one, which I like.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Because if you're a player today, you should have been a little bit humiliated.
Yeah.
With how the head coach felt he had to conduct practice. Yep. So, hopefully that resonates. And again, if you're going to build a team of accountability, the head coach has to be harsh at times, which is tough in this don't hurt my feelings world that we're in. But I thought, Liam Cohen did a nice job. I thought today was good head coaching. Good. I'm not going to get in front. Maybe he did get in front of him and scream and holler. That's not the vibe. That it's more just, okay, if you're going to act like we haven't done any of this, then we're going to take it right back to day one, and build off of that. So yeah, it was interesting. It's fun getting to kind of start to know tendencies and how he kind of runs things, because obviously we have nothing to go on. It's the first time he's ever done it. So, but yeah, I was disappointed in Saturday, but I am encouraged by how the head coach has handled it since.
Okay.
So, so we'll see. We'll talk about that coming up on the Frangie Show. I had a chance to catch up with Basel Tootin after the game Saturday night quickly in the locker room, so we'll play that. And then I had a chance to interview Robert Hainsey today after practice, so we'll have a couple interviews for you. And we'll talk some college football as well, so it should be a fun Frangie Show coming up.
All right.
Sounds good. And it's interesting because Ryan O'Halloran today was his first day back in Jags. So this is his first practice, and he's
like, what is happening?
He comes from the Bills, and then he got that today. Interesting.
It is the Liam Cohen vibe is like, when you're a kid and like the parents aren't screaming, they're just disappointed and they won't speak to you, and that's worse than being yelled at. That's probably how the team felt today, and good.
Well, listen, what did he say in the very beginning? We got to be honest with each other. So he's being honest with them. I bet you they come out tomorrow banging. I bet you they come out with a fire under them, and I'll be looking forward to watching.
I'm looking forward to it as
front
well.
seat.
Absolutely. All right, that'll do it for us today. For Taylor Dahl, for Tom McManus, for RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you tomorrow. Don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show is next right here on 10 to Next on 92.5 FM.